What is up, everybody? Hey there. I am getting everything started, and we're going to wait for everybody to pop in. Ooh, we're up to 4 people. Wow, thank you guys for coming. I hope you stick around. We're going to tell some cool Dogman stories tonight. And I'll just tell you now, maybe I kind of mislabeled the video a little, but in a good way. Well, not in a bad way. We'll say it like that. What is in a good way? I don't know. Let me just get everything started up here. And let's see, where are my comments? Okay. One moment, everybody. How are you guys doing tonight? Let me know in the chat room if you guys can hear me and see me okay. I'll be in there with you in just a second. Okay, let's see. All right, I think I got it going. Okay. How is everybody doing tonight? Hope you guys had a good weekend. Oh, goodbye, phone. It's about to fly into the floor. Feel free to say hello in the chat room. Creepy little book. Hello. Thank you for coming tonight. I'm glad to see you. We're going to be talking about Dogman again tonight because I'm on a Dogman kick. So we're going to do some Dogman storytelling. And probably just because I like to keep these videos about an hour, hour and a half, we're not going to do all the Dogman stories I had ready for tonight. I don't know if I'll do those later or not because I've just, had a lot of stuff to do and I'm kind of behind on everything. But I had a ton of stories for tonight and I picked out a few that I thought were the most interesting. So, 5 viewers. Hello, everybody. Welcome. Just going to wait for everybody to pop in and say hello in the chat room, and then we'll get started. Hey, Vic, thank you for coming back. I appreciate that. Hope you have fun tonight. If you just missed it, we're talking about Dogman tonight, as you could probably tell by the title. Let's see, wait for the Boo Crew to show up. And I always like to wait for everybody, but I kind of hate that it, where it's live, you kind of have to have that big long gap of time where you're just stalling, I guess. Honestly, it's just stalling to wait for everybody. But it is a necessary evil, I believe, unfortunately. Hopefully my video quality is a little better tonight. I'm still live streaming on my laptop. This old MacBook is very old and it doesn't have a great camera, but I am looking into getting that straightened out, hopefully before too much longer. So we'll see how that goes. We have 6 people. Awesome. Hello, 6 people. One of them might be me. Maybe, maybe not. All right, so welcome back to Paranormally Correct. I am your eccentric host, Sarah, and tonight we are sharing some Dogman tales. But first, don't forget to like this video, and if you don't care, please subscribe because you're going to want to stick around for some of the cool stuff that's coming in the future. Lots of cool stuff coming this year, especially. But yeah, definitely subscribe to Paranormally Correct for more great paranormal content. And also, I have a Facebook page. It's just facebook.com/paranormallycorrect. I post a lot of cool stuff over there. It's probably the easiest way to communicate with me or send me messages or whatever. So if you use Facebook, and I know I have a lot of conspiracy theorists in my Boo Crew, and I know some of you guys don't use Facebook, and that's absolutely fine, but go check that out. Follow the page if you do use Facebook. If you don't, I have an Instagram and a Twitter. Maybe use those. All of those links, of course, are in the description box. And you know where the description box is, so that should clear all that up, so I don't have to give you all the links. So I guess let's get into some paranormal news. We have some people missing from the Boo Crew tonight. I feel like it's bad juju. It's a bad sign. We'll see if they pop in the next few minutes. So the first story on the paranormal news list tonight is the sun disappeared in Russia last week. This is a very odd story. I don't know what to make of it. I feel like it might be possibly paranormal, at least a little paranormal. I'm not sure. You be the judge. So last Friday, a large section of central Russia experienced an unexplained phenomenon where the sun completely disappeared for over 3 hours. Can you imagine? That would scare the crap out of me because I have like a weird phobia of apocalyptic stuff, so I would be peeing my pants. But reports are stating that the gigantic black cloud appeared overhead, and that's of course how the sun disappeared. It didn't actually just take off and disappear. It was still there, but it was covered. But while this was happening, the temperature fell dramatically as well. So theories on this strange event range from fallout. Oh, sorry, that was my phone. Thought I had my sound turned off. Okay, maybe it's turned off now. Okay, so back to the theories on the strange event range from fallout from a meteor impact, or it could have been government military weapon testing. A lot of people thought maybe it was an alien invasion. Some people even thought that the end of the world was happening. That's what I would be thinking. Have you guys heard of this? Because this blew my mind. I don't know how it wasn't all over the news. I hadn't heard anything about it until today. So one resident told the press that, and quote, messages are going around about a light flash registered by the U.S. satellites. I guess that I'm not sure where, they didn't clarify that part, but it was followed by an increase of radioactive level and unusual activity of the military. And this person also stated that they don't believe they'll ever be told the truth about what happened. So, of course not. If the military was involved, the government, probably not. Unfortunately, that's how it goes. And that, to me, means that this was because of aliens. Definitely aliens. It's always aliens. So there were some other residents who talked to the press as well, and they stated that the air pressure felt very peculiar and that they were afraid to go out into the streets while this was happening because something just felt off. One person even said the feeling was as if something heavy in the air was pressing on your chest. So still no official explanation. That is terrifying. I don't know what you guys think, but that would really scare me. Like I said, I'm just kind of cowardly about stuff like that. And, like military type things, if there were wars and stuff going on, I don't know, I would be terrified. And I know lots of people do experience stuff like that. Luckily, I guess some of us don't have to, but this is a pretty terrifying situation, I think. I'm going to be looking forward to seeing if there are any answers or any more developments on this because I think it's really cool in a scary kind of way. So the next story we have, this is really funny that I found this today because I was working on a new episode of Far Side Fables. If you don't watch those, you should. Have a playlist. I'll put like a little box thing up here so that you can click on the playlist. But I was working on this video about the nun and kind of the true story of the nun. Not really the nun, but the demon. And I felt, I don't know, I've actually been working on this video off and on for quite some time, and I feel very uncomfortable when I work on this video. And I'm not going to talk too much about it just because I want to save it for the video, but I was thinking yesterday, I was like, I think maybe I'd feel more comfortable doing this one as a live stream. So I'm thinking maybe next week, possibly, or if I actually have a chance to do another live stream this week, which I always say that I'm going to, and then I don't get to, which I'm really sorry about. Sorry about that, guys. It just never works out. But I was thinking maybe I could do like 3 Far Side Fables as a live stream. I thought that'd be kind of cool. Good night, everyone. What are we talking about? We are talking about, yes, Dogman. Thank you, Vic. Yeah, we're going to be talking about some cool Dogman stories. And we're going to watch a little Dogman video. It's kind of cool. You've probably seen it if you know anything about Dogman. But so anyway, back to the nun. Yeah, I feel really weird when I work on that video. It's a very short video, of course, because it's a Far Side Fable. But every time I start working on it, I feel creeped out for some reason. But this week in the news, members of the cast and crew of the upcoming movie, The Nun, which releases September 7th, have reported experiencing real paranormal activity on the set. So this is not necessarily a new thing because with all of the Conjuring franchise movies, they've experienced paranormal activity on the set. And of course they did, because, I mean, can you imagine, like, all of these ghosts that were in the real events probably want to come and watch, you know, or demons, maybe they're demons. But anyway, so yeah, paranormal activity on the set. The Nun director, Corin Hardy, told Yahoo News this week about an experience he had when they were shooting a scene in Romania. He says, as I stepped into the room, this is a direct quote, by the way, I saw a couple of guys sitting in the back of the room. I presumed they were from the sound department, and I said hi, and I quickly turned around, turned my back to them. As I was watching, oh, I keep thinking I'm getting alerts on here. Sorry. I had my back turned on them as I was watching the monitor. I was watching Thaisa, who's one of the stars of the movie. And I was watching the camera, and it was quite a difficult scene to coordinate, and it took about a half an hour. So I was sitting there. This is so creepy. There was only one doorway in and out of this room, and we finally got the shot. I turned around to say, oh, did you see that? What do you think? And there was no one in the room, and there never had been. So he had an audience, but not a real audience, a ghost audience or a demon audience, one of the two. But yeah, I thought that was pretty cool that he shared that with Yahoo News. And it doesn't surprise me at all, because I swear, like I was talking about the nun video that I was trying to make, I feel like sometimes when you talk about these things, they pop up to see what you're saying about them. You know what I mean? So pretty spooky. I don't think I would want all of those types of ghosts or entities, whatever they are, hanging around while I was filming a movie. Let me grab a drink of water. We got one more news story for tonight. And let's see. Oh, that's cold. What is Dogman? You're going to find out tonight what Dogman is, Grim Reaper. Yes, definitely. So I'll go ahead and answer that question right now, just if you're not familiar at all with Dogman. Dogman is a cryptid, kind of like Bigfoot. Bigfoot's a cryptid. Some people say the Loch Ness Monster is a cryptid. I think it's a dinosaur. So a cryptid is basically any kind of creature that probably shouldn't exist, or we probably don't know anything about, that seems to kind of teeter-totter on the paranormal, supernatural line, I guess. They're not really terrestrial, seemingly terrestrial animals. So a Dogman is basically like a werewolf, but half dog, half man. So very peculiar. I have some other Dogman videos if you're interested, if you want to learn more about it. Just go back through a couple of my older videos. And I'll put some links on the screen after the video or whatever. I like to start a Dogman playlist folder. That would be cool. But I don't know if you guys want to talk about Dogman for that long. But Dogman is allegedly real. I think I personally have seen a Dogman. I'm pretty sure. I know a lot of people who believe that they have seen a Dogman as well. And also check out my Dogman interview from 2 weeks ago, I think it was. So hopefully that answers your question a little bit. He's very creepy too. So if you Google a picture of Dogman, creepy guy. So this next one I have a video for. I don't know if this is paranormal. This is a kind of a conspiracy type thing, I think. I don't know. It's definitely not ghost related, but you'll see what I'm talking about. So residents of let's see if I can pronounce this correctly, Leicestershire, residents of a Leicestershire village are desperate for answers as a strange and unexplained sound continues to plague their neighborhoods for over a year. It's been over a year now. The Barwell noise, known as, north of Hinckley. I'm not familiar with any of these places because I've never been to England, by the way, has been described as a loud drone, similar to a vacuum cleaner or a fan, except much louder. And it becomes overwhelmingly loud at night after traffic has died down. So one resident talked to the press and said, when it's quiet at night, it can keep me up. Shutting the windows helps, but it's, when it's hot weather, you don't want to shut the windows. So it's, increasingly louder. And another person said that sometimes it sounds like the peculiar noise is moving around, like it's not stationary. Sometimes it's closer, sometimes it's further away. So let me pull up this video and you can check it out for yourself. I don't know what to make of it. Maybe you guys have an idea. Screen share. Okay, here we go. I think. All right, here we go. Turn up your volume. So I don't know if you can really hear that very well because the video doesn't have great sound on it. I have my volume turned all the way up and I can kind of hear it just because I've listened to the video a few times. So this video is going to be linked below in the description box. I'll also post it on the Facebook page. Let me do that right now. So I will post that right this minute if you want to check that out. Let's see here. Okay. Weird sound. Okay. So it does sound kind of like a fan or something. It definitely doesn't sound like any kind of running machinery. I don't know. I'll let you take another listen, see if you can hear it a little better. So I'm sure that we probably don't hear it as well as the people in the neighborhood, and I'm sure that it's very annoying after a while. I mean, over a year, that's a long time to be hearing this weird noise and not have any idea where it's coming from or what it is. And there, since like probably about 2012 or 13, there has been an increasing amount of weird sounds coming from different parts of the world. So this is a relatively new sound to add to that edition or collection. I'm sorry. But we've had sounds like banging sounds, things that sounded like, what is that big thing that the Ninja Turtles had that had a drill on it that they could drive through a wall? I don't know what that thing's called, but we hear things like that too. People have said they hear things like chiseling, chipping really loud, you know, like on a larger scale. We've had the weird trumpets. We've had all kinds of weird sounds popping up all over the world. It's not, you know, designated to one particular spot specifically. So I don't know. And again, this video will be, yeah, totally not Dogman. Wouldn't it be cool if it was Dogman though? It's like Dogman's got a really large oscillating fan or something. I don't know. Or he's vacuuming his den. It kind of sounds like a vacuum cleaner. So this video will be linked, of course, and I posted it on the Facebook page if you want to check it out. Maybe you can help these people figure out what they're hearing. And if you're in the area, how cool would it be to go investigate that sound? I don't know why people aren't investigating the sound. So another thing about this case is that the council in the area said that no one's really complained to them about it. What I find that very peculiar because people are complaining enough to get the attention of the news. So surely someone has complained to the council, right? I mean, of course they have. It's weird that they would deny that. So that makes me think it's a conspiracy. I hope I find Dogman too. It's going to be fun hunting for Dogman. Wait a second. How did you know that? Very psychic. Okay, back to the video. So, oh, no, I clicked the wrong thing. Hang on just a second. I knew I was going to have bad juju tonight. So that's the last news story for tonight. We're going to get straight into the Dogman stories. The first one, now these are things that I found around the web, things that I found kind of interesting and things I thought would make good talking points, you know, just good for discussion mostly. I don't necessarily agree with all of them. So let's just throw that out there up front. There are some strange stories, and that's why I picked them. So the first one is called, I encountered a 6-foot Dogman in the forest of West Germany in 1972. And I'm not going to try to pronounce all the towns and stuff because you guys know I mutilate weird foreign words, words that I'm not familiar with. So the story goes, in the fall of 1972, while camping, I saw one of these so-called Dogmen. I was an army brat living in West Germany in a place called wild flecking. It was a heavily wooded area, lots of places for a boy of 12 to go camping. I was with a friend. It was about 9 p.m. at the time, the month of November. We had a fire built, and I remember my friend was sitting cross-legged next to the fire. I was directly across from him, standing, doing something. What do you think? Sausages. Of course it's sausages. No dog can resist sausages. But I think some of them prefer milk bones occasionally, so it could go either way. Okay, back to my story. I'm going to get sidetracked and start giggling here. Okay, I was directly across from him, standing and doing something. We were in a tiny clearing with evergreens all around. We were looking to each other when all of a sudden, the grammar and stuff is a little off on this, and the punctuation, I'll stumble through it a little bit. All of a sudden, this very tall creature standing on two legs, which looked a bit like a German shepherd, stepped out of the foliage. It was about 6 or 7 feet tall, much like in the Weekend Weird witness reports. I distinctly remember the tall ears, long snout, heavy shoulders, long tail, and bent dog legs. So when you ask what Dogman is, this is a great description. This is actually... this is actually the description that most people give. Most people who have seen him always say that he has really peculiar looking ears. And let me just pull up a picture. I'll find a picture real quick and kind of show you what he looks like. What most people say that he looks like anyway. Let's see. Dogman. Okay. So a lot of people say, well, pretty much everybody says he has weird pointy ears. They're more pronounced and more pointed, and I believe more narrow than most dogs. So they are a little different. He doesn't look exactly like a dog. This is a pretty good picture. This is a fake picture, so don't get too excited. But this is a pretty good representation, I feel like. Let me pull this up and screen share it real quick. Okay, just 1 second. I wish this was a little quicker, like there was a quick button to screen share things. Okay, so this is pretty good description of what people say Dogman looks like. And you'll notice he has very pointy ears. A lot of people say he has a long snout, big teeth. Most people say that his eyes are the most terrifying part about him, if not, just his face. So that's kind of what a Dogman looks like. They usually, I think they're probably mostly over 6 foot tall. Some people say that they could be up to 9 feet tall. I'm not sure. Was that Dogman who just howled? Did you guys hear that? I don't know who that was or what that was. Somebody howled. So that's what Dogman looks like. Somebody's yelling outside. That's great. My neighbors are going to have a fight right now. What a great time. Okay, back to the story. If I can find my place. Yeah, so it seemed that this creature was muscular in build and had a thick upper body. So muscular, most people say that he's very muscular. A lot of people say that he kind of has like a six-pack bar from Spaceballs. Wouldn't that be cool if Dogman looked like Bar? I'm a Mog, half man, half dog. I'm my own best friend. I adore that movie. That's a great movie. Yeah, that's not too far off. I guess if Dogman was a little on the chubby side. Crazy neighbors, they're at it tonight. So getting back to the story here, colored the same as a German Shepherd. So a lot of people say that Dogman is black, gray, brown. I've never really heard anybody say that he's colored like a dog. Mostly just like, kind of like a bear. Not so much dog-like in spots and stripes. And you know how dogs kind of have like designs, a little like natural biological designs in their hair. But most people say that he's black or gray. So this guy says German Shepherd. He says that this thing stepped over the fire between us and was gone in a quick second. It was extremely fast, which is another thing that people say. Yes. That's my favorite quote from that movie too, by the way. I'm my own best friend. But yeah, most people say that Dogman is really fast, and there are a lot of people who say that they've run into Dogman and he has chased their car, and he was a formidable opponent. So maybe Dogman could run between 50 and 60 miles an hour. And also, if you consider how big he is, his gait is going to provide him quicker steps because he can probably step 3 feet apart from, foot to foot. So he's quick. He's very quick. This guy says, we both exclaimed at the same time, "What the hell was that?" before running as fast as we could back to my friend's house. We locked ourselves in his basement and slept there for the rest of the night. We never spoke about it again. We didn't know what we saw, but it never made any aggressive gestures or noises toward us. He also goes on to say, I have conducted much research since the age of the computer, bought books on the subject, hang on, my phone dimmed out. Whoops, lost my comments. Hey, MeowTube, glad you're here. Where was I at? All the legends I've gone through make me think that if legends are true, this could have been a Benandanti werewolf. Whatever that is. I didn't Google that word. But there are a lot of creatures like, oh my gosh, there are so many cryptids out there that people don't really know how to categorize, especially in foreign countries, because I think Dogman is more, I don't know, more recognizable, I guess, to the Western world, whereas I think other cultures have different names for them. So whatever this werewolf thing is, probably very similar, just from a different country. Probably, maybe it's a German thing, I don't know. So he goes on to say that they are not evil and they only try to protect farmers' crops against evil spirits. So if you saw the Facebook page post today, I posted just like a little quick thing about, what are they called? Good walkers. Good walkers are apparently another form of Dogman, like more of a antiquated form of Dogman. And they weren't bad, inherently bad. Dogman, as we know it today, is pretty dangerous. Most people who have had a Dogman experience say that it was terrifying. A lot of people say they became PTSD prone after having their Dogman experience. And I listened to a lot of Dogman interviews online, and it sounds like Dogman is pretty dangerous. For some reason, there's a large group of people out there who think that Dogman is to be respected and left alone, and he'll do the same. He does not, I don't think he returns the favor. I think that Dogman is aggressive. I think that he is basically, yeah, like a skinwalker. And that's another kind of incarnation of this entity, I think. I don't know if I think Dogman is paranormal, but I think he comes in lots of forms, has lots of names. So, but what was I going to say? Yeah, something about, crap, I don't know. But yeah, Skinwalker Ranch, if you're familiar with that, a lot of people say that those were werewolves or Dogmen. Some people, a lot of the things that I've read, because there's not a tremendous amount of information online about it, but a lot of people say that they are shapeshifters, like the Skinwalkers. So most people don't think that Dogman is a shapeshifter, though. So slight differences here and there. But I think it could all be one and the same. And I've even considered, like, what if the Jersey Devil is a mini Dogman? What if Chupacabra's real and is actually a Dogman? Who knows? There are lots of Rougarous. You guys know what a Rougarou is? That could be a Dogman, just with a different name from a different culture. So I think we probably don't have as many cryptids as we have names for cryptids. I think a lot of them might be the same thing. Maybe they just look a little different from time to time. You know what I mean? So the Skinwalker thing fascinates me to no end, by the way. I love that story. And there's so little, like I said, there's so little about it. I feel like I've seen and read and heard everything there is on the internet about Skinwalkers. Cajun werewolf. But it's just like, the Yeti and the skunk ape and things like that. They're probably all in the Bigfoot category. Probably lots of things in the Dogman category that we just don't really know about. So have any of you guys ever seen a Dogman? Because if you haven't watched any of my past videos, I think I have seen one. And just a little quick short story. It was in 2001. Me and a friend were headed home, and there was a thing in the road. It was very large. It was not like, this wasn't a major highway, like a big one. This is, if you're familiar with like rural roads and things like that, it was just like, you know, just a normal small highway. But if you look up 32 in Eastern Kentucky, Highway 32, you'll see what I'm talking about. It's on Google Maps. You can see it perfectly. This thing was big enough to stretch off of the road, across the lane, and a little ways across the yellow line. And it was crawling on its belly, kind of like an alligator, but the arms didn't come out. They actually folded back like, I guess like dog elbows, dog knees. So very scary. We hit it. We hit it doing about 65 miles an hour. I'm pretty sure the tires all were off the ground for like at least 1 second. We hit this thing and it lived because we went probably a quarter mile up the road and turned and came back really fast because we had no idea what it was we hit. And when we got back, it was completely gone, disappeared, vanished. And not too many animals could take a car hit like that and live. We drove over it with all 4 tires, but it took off. So I didn't get to see like hair and fangs and teeth and, well, toenails rather, not teeth. I didn't really see any defining features other than the shape of it, like the way that its arms were, you know, like creeping across the road on its belly. So, but I'm pretty sure it was a Dogman. And then my mom has a Dogman experience. Hers is a little better than mine, I think. Maybe I'll tell you that one another time or at the end of the stream or something. Let's see. I think I have a cousin, I'm pretty sure, who's seen a Dogman too. So, and there were quite a few Dogman encounters in Kentucky, and that's where I'm from. That's where I'm born and raised, and I live here now, unfortunately. But I'm hoping to see a Dogman again soon. That would be really cool because I didn't even know at the time really what a Dogman was. I knew nothing about Dogman. I've always heard of the name, but I never really looked into it, if that makes any sense. So let's get back to the story here. So here, this is the part where the story gets kind of weird. So totally different story. It's not related to the last one. There are people who believe that Dogman can communicate with telepathy. And if you're someone who knows a little bit or a lot about Dogman, I think most people might say that that's crazy. And I kind of think it's a little crazy too. I thought it was interesting to read about because what if it is true? What if some people have experienced it, just not everybody? I definitely did not have a psychic connection with my Dogman. But it's very interesting to think that some people may have. And if they didn't, maybe they're just a little crazy. Who knows? So this next story is about a woman who posted this story on Truth Seeker Highway. I'm not familiar with the website, maybe you are. She claims that she had a regular telepathic connection, like an open line, with a Dogman who called himself Tulak. T-U-L-A-C-K, Tulak. This happened in the Sandia Mountains of New Mexico. She and her boyfriend Michael were hiking, and Michael at one point yelled out, "Hey, look out, there's a bear up ahead." So when she looked to see where the bear was at that he was referring to, she saw this hulking brown big thing in a thicket nearby. So here's her witness statement. "As I watched the bear run away," at this point they're still thinking it's a bear, "out of some trees and to the right, I saw a very strange, and I mean very strange, person walking, going opposite of the bear." So I'll just tell you right now, this woman didn't clarify if this was 2 Dogmen or if it was a Dogman and a bear. So draw your own conclusions. Its stride was like something I've never seen, especially a normal person. For every step, and again, grammar, it's not going to be great. For every step it took, there must have been about 4 to 5 feet in between each step, which means that I was looking at something very tall. Its back was hunched over, and at first I thought that, let me scroll, maybe he was carrying a backpack. So she thinks it's a person carrying a backpack because of the shape. I mean, my mind was going 100 miles a minute trying to figure out exactly what I was looking at. Then I realized that it wasn't a backpack, but a bag, a man's bag. Then I saw how strange the color of the man was. At this point, I had no idea I was looking at a man. I think she meant if I was looking at a man. Its color was gray, purple, and dark brown. There seemed to be patches of what looked to me like purple, but who knows what I was looking at. She goes on to say, it didn't turn and look at me, but kept its pace, walking down what we eventually saw was a path. So this thing's moving out pretty quick. I guess they're kind of trailing it a little bit. I saw how Michael, hang on. I copied and pasted her text. This is how she wrote it, not me. I think she means that she was talking to Michael about this person looking or appearing to be, you know, not normal. But Michael couldn't really tell any details from where he was at. So then she pointed to the location of where this entity or this person, Dogman, went to, and they started walking in that direction. So back to her quote, that is when the horrible feeling hit us both in the gut. Something told both of us to stay back. It was clear. It was a clear message, and one I was willing to ignore, but not Michael. I wanted to go down the path further, and he said it was too dangerous. So yeah, probably too dangerous to stalk a Dogman. She goes on to say, I must say the feeling in our gut was like a slap punch, almost a nauseating feeling. It affected our heart rates and our adrenaline was racing. I could feel my heartbeat all over my body. Can you imagine how terrifying? But let's follow him. I mean, I probably would too. So no judgment. I probably would too. It was at this point I decided to take photos in the direction the strange hiker had gone. So she's still thinking it's a person. I was in one of those photos that, no, she means it was in one of those photos that we captured that turned out to be Dogman. He was standing and watching us. So they really did. They saw a Dogman. She did not include the picture. I wish that she had, because I would like to have seen that picture. And this is where it gets a little strange. So they didn't have a run-in. They didn't, you know, they just followed it a little bit and they saw it and they apparently captured a picture of it. But the strange thing is that she claimed that even after this experience, when they returned home and back to their normal lives, she had a psychic connection with Tulok. Tulok, of course, had communicated his name to her at some point in this experience or shortly after. And she also claimed to learn a lot of things about Dogmen. And she was very adamant that Dogmen are not violent or vicious creatures, which goes against pretty much completely everything that anybody has said. Most people who have had Dogman experiences, like I said, usually claim that they are terrifying experiences. I mean, I listened to one just a few days ago where this woman was sobbing and talking about how she listened to these Dogmen attack some livestock, and you know, she was terrified they were going to come in the house on her. And I've heard people talk about Dogman latching onto their car and trying to hang on and, like, you know, get them out, I guess, to eat them or whatever. And just my assumption about Dogman's characteristics as a person, just kidding. His personality to me seems like, I think he's smart. I think Dogman is really smart. So I'm with her on that he's intelligent, but I think that Dogman enjoys torturing people. And I think that a lot of people who have Dogman experiences or are Dogman researchers would probably agree with that. I think that he's more than mischievous. I think he enjoys torturing people. And there have been lots of deaths that people claim are associated with Dogman attacks. So I believe that this woman is totally wrong. But isn't it interesting to think about? What if she did meet like one Dogman who wasn't interested in murdering her? You know, what if she met one who was able to communicate? Does this mean that, you know, if they can communicate telepathically, does this mean they're aliens? I don't know. It's just really, it's interesting stuff to think about, because Jody Cook was on the show a few weeks ago, and he was saying, you know, human testimonies mean nothing in the Dogman research category. So, I mean, they're great. They're interesting to listen to, but who knows? And if anybody in here has had a Dogman experience and would like to chime in on this, please feel free, because I personally don't believe that Dogman is, I don't think they're passive. I don't think that they're friendly. I don't think that they have any politics. I think that they are killing machines. Personally, that's just my personal opinion. But I don't know any Dogmen on a, you know, first name basis either. So Tulak, what a great name. I'm going to get a dog and name it Tulak. Has relayed interesting information to me. This is a quote from her. The most obvious is that they don't think like humans. Obviously. They understand their place in the forest and they don't put out threatening stance to other animals in the forest except when they hunt. As far as when they interact with each other, he stated that they have an understanding with one another. He prefers his solitude, and he says he doesn't particularly stay with any group, but he knew where other dog people were, or dog men, dog women, dog puppies. Chihuahua peed on my robe once. Chihuahuas pee on everything. That just comes with the territory if you have a Chihuahua. Let's see. So she continued on and said that to me, he was obviously intelligent, and she believed he was more intelligent than most animals. He was distrustful of people, and you know, I think she communicated that most cryptids are mistrustful. Of course they are. Of course, you know, animals like deer, bear, lots of animals in the forest are pretty well gun shy around humans, no pun intended. But I think that's, you know, pretty obvious information. So she goes on to talk about, I guess she had a lot of details about this communication that she claimed she had with Dogman. But yeah, so I don't know. I don't know what to think about that one. I think maybe their experience did happen. I think I would probably be more prone to believe that the experience happened, but not so much the psychic part of it. Although, like I said, it's really cool to think that it's possible to psychically communicate with a dogman. So if any of you guys out there have any psychic experiences with dogman, please let me know. I really appreciate hearing that story. Just to know someone personally, or like talk to someone who claims that they've had that, because it's really fascinating. I think that's a game changer if it's true. The next story, a witness named Zay. So dramatic. So this witness, this is available online and it's linked in the description box, I think. This guy called himself Zay. He contacted Weak and Weird and claimed to have psychic connections to Pennsylvania dogmen. Not just one, but multiple dogmen from Pennsylvania. And he also said a few from around the other parts of the country too. So he claimed that Dogman is not violent or malevolent in any way as well, much like the last witness report. He said that Dogman is frustrated and displeased with humans, but they don't hate us. Okay. I don't think it's about hate, because, you know, if you go into the woods and you get attacked by a bear, I don't think the bear is attacking you because it hates you. I think it's attacking you because it's in its nature. Now, if Dogman is like an alien or a government experiment, biological weapon, something like that, maybe it's hatred. But Zay says that it's not hatred, so we'll go along with it for just a minute here. He stated, "I have visited Dogman territories numerous times, always alone and unarmed." Brave, say brave. "If I am not worthy to be there, then the Dogman can have me, but I have yet to experience aggression from them, and have had several subtle encounters with Dogman." So what he's basically saying is more along the lines of the Native American belief, which is that, because they believed in a spirit type creature, whereas Dogman tends to maybe come across as a little more terrestrial. Whether he's terrestrial or not, we don't know, but he's a tangible thing to people who have seen him. But the Native Americans believed that it was a spirit who lived in the woods, and that you were supposed to respect it and stay out of its way and don't say its name. And, you know, let it live, and it would let you live, you know, live and let live. Zay's theory is a little similar to that. So he goes on to say, "I have recently discovered a 3-toe paw print that was almost as big as the palm of my hand and was so fresh that the Dogman could have been watching me as I passed by. I have literally," I hate when people misuse that word, it bothers me. "I have literally had Dogmen approach me after dark, announcing their presence with sounds that defy what you would reason as reason as being from average animals. I have heard mystical, heavy breathing sounds to non-aggressive growls of acknowledgement." So it's kind of as if Dogman has taken him on as one of their own. Going back to what the woman said before, you know, they have an understanding with each other. Maybe Zay is actually a dog man. Could be possible. Maybe they're living among us. Who knows? He goes on to say, I even had a dog man creep up on me for 15 minutes that I was aware of the entire time. And when I sensed that it was very close, perhaps right behind me, I had a black and white telepathic image of a canine head and snout come into my mind. It's an amazing world. I have walked through dogman territories in Pennsylvania before without fear because I trust them, and with a kind of trust that I don't often have for humans. Definitely, he is definitely a dogman. This guy actually wrote a very long post. This is kind of chopped up a little bit. I cut it down into smaller paragraphs just to kind of like, you know, keep it moving. He said some really weird stuff. I like the idea that he's expressing here, but I don't know. I don't know. What do you guys think about this? Do you think it's possible that, you know, if you're the right kind of person with the right kind of mentality, you could just parade about in Dogman's territory and he'd be okay with it? Maybe it's like the dog whisperer, because I don't know a lot of people outside of Caesar Milan who could take a whole bunch of pit bulls and put them together, rehabilitate them all at the same time in the same kennel. Maybe it's like that. Maybe this Zay person has a similar personality or spirit to him as Caesar Milan, who, you know, of course, domestic dogs and dogman are probably very different creatures. But if we can see this kind of, I don't know, trait in a person who we see on TV who, you know, obviously there's no debate about that. Maybe it's possible that there are some types of people who can be around dogman. Something to think about. What do you guys think? Wake up, everybody. Wake up. Shake the computer. Let me know what you guys think. What do you think? You think you're the kind of person maybe that could go around a dog man and not get eaten? Because I would get eaten immediately. I'll tell you that right now. I wouldn't mind though, as long as I had like a GoPro or something attached to my head. I'll take one for the paranormal team. I would. You know, the sad thing is that if something like that really happened, like if somebody really got footage of being eaten by a dog man, they would just claim that it's fake. Everybody would say it was a hoax. Oh, isn't that sad to think about? I think it's very tremendously sad that we're so used to seeing hoaxes and things like that, that, you know, if we had real footage, we wouldn't know what to do with it. So I'm going to pull up a video here. Are you guys familiar at all with the Gable Film? The Gable Film. Going once, going twice, the Gable Film. I love the Gable Film. I don't know what to think about it. I don't know if it's real or not. I have my conspiracies. I'm going to show you the Gable Film and see what you think about it. I was actually going to show it the last Dogman video I did, but I didn't have a chance to. I ran out of time. So we're going to look at it right now as soon as I can find it. So disorganized tonight. I'm just all over the place tonight, guys. Sorry about that. I'm so tired. I had a terribly rough day. Probably one of the roughest days I've had in a while. Okay. I believe I have found it. Let me do a little screen share here, and you guys can check it out too. This is the Gable Film. I think you're cute too, Grim Reaper. Okay, here we go. Get ready, guys. Get your popcorn. Here we go. I don't think there's any sound. I'm just going to show you the whole thing because it's like 3 minutes. It's not too much of anything. So I'll tell you the story behind the Gable Film. It is said, legend has it, that the Gable Film was found at an estate sale. It was suspected, I think they believe that it was probably filmed in the 70s. I don't think there was any definite information available on the footage or anything that said 70s, but they assumed that it was probably the 70s. There was an inscription on the canister of film that said Gable Case. So this is known as like the Gable Case or the Gable Film, either one. This is basically home footage that someone took on an old, I think an 8mm camera. And it goes on and on for a little while. It's, you know, kids ride snowmobiles and things like that. And like, here's a guy chopping some wood and blah, blah, blah. And then something kind of strange starts to happen toward the end of the video. And I'll just skip a little ways so that you can see that. So here we go. Okay, anytime now. Okay, I think it's actually going to do it right here. Yeah, this is the part. So if you notice, if I can pause it at the right time, there is a thing in the woods. Yeah, okay, I can't pause it at the right time, but there's a thing. You'll see it a little better here in just a second. There it is. Right there, just kind of looks like a blob of something, but it actually appears to charge at the person who's holding the camera. So it appears that the person is being attacked by something, possibly a dogman. Okay, and there is a part 2 to this. It's 1.5 minutes. I'll show you that real quick. So this part 2 here kind of shows the police investigating what happened in part 1. Now, I'm not sure if part 2 was found alongside part 1 or how they came up with it. I'm not sure about that part. You can Google it probably. This is allegedly the person who was attacked in the first video. So as you can see, there are lots of blood, guts, and viscera. It appears that this person has been eaten from the waist down. Ugh, gross. So gross. So that's pretty much the bulk of it there. You kind of get the gist of what's going on. This footage, I think this footage is really cool. It's supposedly fake. I say supposedly. So here's what happened. This film drew enough attention to where Monster Quest, if you guys remember the show Monster Quest, Jody Cook, who was on the show, he was actually on Monster Quest a couple of times, I think. It was a really cool show sometimes. But anyway, they investigated this case and they found a guy named Mike Agrusa. I don't know if that's how you pronounce it, Mike Agrusa. He allegedly hoaxed the film, and he pretty much admitted to hoaxing the film when they found him and interviewed him. I don't necessarily believe this. Maybe this is just wishful thinking. Not that people died a horrendous death that, you know, met their fate at the teeth of a dogman. But I want to believe that this is true so bad. And maybe I'm totally wrong, okay? But this guy started telling them all of, you know, the secrets, his tricks. He showed them a truck that matched the truck in the video. He showed them snowmobiles that matched the snowmobiles in the video. And then he showed them that he had purchased a ghillie suit. And if you don't know what a ghillie suit is, it's like a material that you put over yourself so that you're camouflaged in the woods. And I think they might make them for other terrains as well. I'm not sure. I don't have one. I'm going to get one someday. That and a slee stack costume. But so he had this ghillie suit. He allegedly was, I don't know if it was him or someone else. Maybe he was holding the camera, but someone was wearing the suit, and kind of came running off the hill, sort of with a similar gait to like an ape or something like that. He just, he told it all. He revealed the whole thing. Whether or not he was a government plant is my question. Because I do know, at least I feel like I know, I've heard lots of people say that the government, for some reason, makes quite an effort to cover up Dogman incidents and Dogman information. And I know personally that the government does sometimes go out of their way to cover things up and to stop things from happening or getting out. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, go read my CSX UFO story. There's a video on my channel. If you know what I'm talking about, you'll find it, CSX UFO. So my theory on this whole thing is like, this just seems like there's too many plot holes. I have a lot of questions that personally, I can't find answers to. I'll let you draw your own conclusions about it, but it is supposedly a hoax. And if it is a hoax, shame on Micah Grusa, because what a great piece of footage this could have been, but it's whatever, because people have the ability to hoax things. So one of my first questions would be, and maybe there is an answer to this out there somewhere, because I didn't actually ever get to see the Monster Quest episode. I would like to know when the footage was found. I think that would be kind of telling, because people haven't always had a lot of access to editing equipment and things like that, which I don't think this is edited. Probably in-camera editing, of course. But I would just like to know more of the origin of this, because I'm really wondering if this guy is just being paid to claim that he did it. And if a big enough entity wanted to, portray this video as a hoax, they could do it, if you know what I mean. So I don't know. I think there's something fishy about it, personally. So that is the end of the stories for tonight. Like I said, I had lots more, but we don't have a whole lot of time. I don't want to keep you guys all night. But so what do you guys think? What do you guys think about these? Do you think Dogman has telepathy? Do you think that the Gable film, like maybe there's something more to it? Because I totally do. I totally do. I want to believe. But yeah. So if you're talking about the thing in the Gable film, obviously it was either a real Dogman, a real Bigfoot, or a guy in a ghillie suit. One of the three. Who knows? Maybe we'll never know. Hopefully someday someone gets really, really good footage and evidence of Dogman. I know that there are, as of this year, there are a couple of really good pieces of footage out there for Bigfoot. But I think we're to the point where so many people have seen Bigfoot, I don't know if we can really question it anymore. Kind of like with aliens. Yeah, I think it was too. Grim Reaper. I definitely think that it was too. I think there's something more to it. I hope. Oh yeah, and another thing too, if you're interested in this, which there'll be some links, I'll post some stuff on Facebook tomorrow for it. But the guy claimed that he created the half-eaten dead body by digging a hole and getting into the hole to where just his torso stuck out, and then using spray foam to make it look like entrails and, blood, guts, and gore. I just think that it's like, I don't know. For some reason, I feel so much more inclined to believe that this is a conspiracy. Seems like it makes more sense. So definitely go over and check out the Facebook page. I will post some things tomorrow to go along with this video. The video of the weird sound is posted now, so you can check that out. Thank you all very much for coming. I appreciate it. You have been a lovely audience. Next week, I'm trying to get a guest on. I don't know if I'll have a guest next week, but I may have a guest next week. So definitely tune in again, not tomorrow, next Monday night, 9:30 p.m. Eastern. No, what? No, what? No. Okay, why not? You have any questions? You want to come on? I think I can guest you on here. You can come on and tell me some ghost stories if you want. I'm always looking for people to come on and tell stories, like their personal experiences and stuff, and no one ever wants to. Tomorrow night, I can try to do a YouNow stream. I do have a YouNow if you guys use YouNow. I normally don't get on there because I feel like I just get a bunch of random people who don't really care too much about paranormal stuff. I like to do YouNows, but like I said, it's mostly people just asking me weird questions. But we do have some good streams over there from time to time. So maybe I'll try to do some of those coming up soon. If I ever have anything to talk about. It's such a different format than YouTube. But I'll try to, well, actually, if you want to hear more about cryptids, Jody is going to come back on the show. I'm not sure when, but he's going to come back on and we're going to talk about cryptids from all over the United States. And we may even try to do some international cryptids and things like that. So that's going to be a really fun one. He's not really going to be a guest. He's going to kind of co-host with me. So that'll be really cool. I'm looking forward to that. Hopefully we have enough time coming up soon to do that. So he is like a walking encyclopedia for cryptids. He knows all of that stuff. So do you have any like questions? Anybody want to come on and tell me a ghost story or anything like that? Otherwise, I'm going to let you guys go. Let you guys go to bed and get some sleep because I'm sure you all had tough Mondays too. I know I sure did. More paranormal stuff. I have tons of paranormal stuff on my YouTube channel here. I have some playlists and stuff too if you're interested in like chupacabras and things. Ghosts. Aliens. I have some alien stories. You want to check those out? You should. I hate that delay. I think I've got like a 30 to 45 second delay. So whenever I'm talking to you, you don't hear it for almost a minute later. So then I have to sit here and wait. Like, I wonder if they got it yet. That's funny. When did I first hear about Dogman? I have heard about Dogman my whole life, but up until about a month ago, I never was interested in Dogman. I never had any, I don't know. I felt like it was probably just some kind of silly story that I just didn't know anything about. And then I got to, one night I was just kind of listening. I was looking for some cool paranormal stuff on YouTube to listen to, like interviews and things like that. And I stumbled across a Midnight in the Desert episode about Dogman. And that one was interesting for so many reasons. Maybe you know what I'm talking about. I don't know. If you watch or listen to Midnight in the Desert, maybe you do. But I got to listen to it. I was like, wow, this is crazy. And then it kind of popped in my head. I was like, I think I've seen a Dogman. Oh, and I'll tell you my mom's Dogman story since we're still on here. So my mom, many years ago, and I think I told this story like a week or two ago as well, but I'll tell it again because some of you weren't here. So my mom, this was probably around 1996 or 1997, for a very long roundabout way type story that doesn't really matter. It's not really relevant to the story. Her and my stepdad ended up sleeping in the car one night in a very wooded area. They weren't homeless or anything like that. I think I always throw this disclaimer. The circumstances are not really relevant, but it's kind of a dumb story anyway. It's not relevant. But they happened to be sleeping in the car one night. In this area, I don't know, you could probably look it up on Google Maps. It's called Red Wine Hill, and it's in Elliott County, Kentucky. But they were asleep in the car, and Mom said that the moon was real bright that night. And she actually told me this back, around 1997 when it happened. And then I asked her about it here recently, too, when I got on this Dogman craze, this extravaganza of Dogman. But she said that the moon was really bright. It was full moon. And she had kind of had her eyes closed. She was leaning back in the seat a little bit with her eyes closed. And she said she kind of saw something walk by the car because the moon was so bright that when something passed in between her window and the moon, it kind of eclipsed her enough to where she noticed it, even with her eyes closed, if that makes any sense at all. And she opened her eyes, and there was a Dogman on the hood of the car. And she said that he had his hands up and was looking in, and she said it was the most terrifying thing that she had ever seen in her life. She's like, I don't know if I screamed. She's like, I think I tried to scream and I couldn't scream. But she said that he just was looking into the car at her. And she said that he was really shaggy all over, which is something that most people say. She said he looked kind of mangy, and a lot of people say that too. She did notice that he had extremely pointy ears, pointing straight up. Typical Dogman description. And then he kind of had some leathery look to him. So I usually get really excited when I hear people give the same description over and over and over for Dogman sightings, because that makes me feel like, you know, if everybody's seeing the exact same thing, doesn't this mean this thing exists? Because it does to me. It definitely does to me. Especially if these are, my mom's not, like, she doesn't use the internet. You know, 1997, there really wasn't, the internet was not like it is now. We didn't even have a computer back then. So we didn't get a computer until like 2002. And even then, my mom never used it. She's a technophobe. She does not like technology. She does not have a cell phone, nothing like that. So for her to have this description, and a lot of people like her who are kind of removed from the digital age, maybe because of, you know, maybe because they're older or whatever, you know, that kind of makes it seem like it's like she's not hearing about this on daytime TV or anything. So I don't know. That was her experience. She said that he took off so quickly that she didn't even know where he went. And yet another thing that people always say about Dogman is that he's extremely fast, has a lot of speed. So if you ever run into a Dogman, you're probably not going to outrun Dogman from what I hear. And with my experience, I know that he must have had to been able to move really quickly to get out of the area that I saw him in the length of time, you know, between hitting him with the car and then coming back to see if we'd hit a person or, you know, like a very large person laying in the road. Because the night, you know, when I had my experience, that's kind of one of the things I thought first was, is this a big person laying in the road? Is this an alligator? What is this thing? I knew it wasn't a bear or a deer or anything like that. Actually, let me show you guys a picture real quick, because this is actually on North American Dogman Project's website. You all should check out this website, especially if you have any experiences with Dogman. It's called NorthAmericanDogmanProject.com. Let me find this picture really quick, because this is exactly what I saw. Well, but again, also keep in mind that I didn't really see details because it was dark. The headlights didn't really illuminate quickly enough for me to be able to tell, you know, distinguish details, basically. But I did see this shape. And I'm going to show you a picture as soon as I find it. Let's see, where is it at? Let me just go ahead and screen share this so that you can look at them too as I'm scrolling through them. Okay, I think you can see that. Okay. Make this a little bigger. So here's kind of a size comparison. This is not the picture I was going to show you, but this is another picture. The Beast of Bray Road. If you're interested in Dogman, look up the Beast of Bray Road, because that's a really fascinating case. But this is kind of like a size comparison for what was witnessed on that road. And that particular area, Bray Road, has had a lot of sightings. Lots of people have seen something. Oh, and let me show you this one. This is really cool. This is a gravestone, and it's the person lived from 1899 to 1917, and their tombstone, this is crazy. Their tombstone says "murdered by human wolves." Murdered by human wolves. That's pretty crazy. Again, this is on North American Dogman Project.com if you want to check these out yourself. Oh crap, where's the picture? I think I've had this trouble a couple of times finding the picture. It's either on here or maybe their Facebook or something. Crap. I can't find it. Let's see. Lots of witness pictures. I think this picture here is probably my favorite. Isn't that frightening? That is probably, I can't imagine what I would do if I saw that thing in person. But these pictures are like, there's a huge variety here to look at, lots of spooky stuff. This is actually North American Dogman Project has out 2 DVDs, 2 documentaries, and I believe this is something a story or related to a story from one of the documentaries. Kind of cool. Pretty good interpretation there. I always have trouble finding this picture on their side for some reason. Oh crap. If I find it, I'll post it on the Facebook page because I'm not seeing it right now. But basically it was just Dogman crawling on his belly, and it was really spooky, but it was exactly the shape of what I saw on the road that night. So very spooky. Well, damn, I wish I could have found that. Yeah, so lots and lots and lots of cool stuff on there. Definitely check out their website. And I think with that, I think I'm going to hop off here for the night. I know I always say this, I'll do my best to do another live stream throughout the week. I don't know if I'll get to. It's just, I don't know. I have so many things to do all the time. But I try my best. At least I'm always here Monday night. So I've got some new videos coming up, some that I don't know if I'll post or not because I think they kind of aren't very interesting. But I do have some new Far Side Fables coming that are definitely going to be posted. And I should be able to get one up probably very soon. So I'm still debating on whether or not I want to do the 3 live stream Far Side Fables, just because I think it would be kind of interesting to do it that way. Or if I just want to, produce them, like pre-record them and stuff. So tell me about it. Tell me about what? Which part you want me to tell you about? Always something. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I know. It's crazy. But again, thank you all so much for coming tonight. I really appreciate it. I'm going to try to wait for that delay. Go over to the Facebook page. It is very fun over there. If you use Facebook, like I said, if you don't use Facebook, that's fine. I always appreciate and respect my conspiracy theorist friends because Facebook is the devil. I agree with you wholeheartedly on that one. So, but yeah, I hope you guys have a great week. Do not get abducted by aliens. And feel free to message me, follow me on Twitter, whatever. Send me some messages. If you have any questions about paranormal stuff, if you have any pictures. I never remember to tell you guys this, but I also do photo and video analysis. I'm very good at it. It's like a weird little knack that I have, a little talent, if you will. If you have any paranormal pictures or things you think might be paranormal, you can always send those over to me through the Facebook page or hotmail.com. It's paranormallycorrect@hotmail.com, which is in the description. My day-to-day life is just exhausting. It's just so busy. But lots of cool things going on right now. And I have some announcements hopefully coming up within the next month for you guys. You guys are going to be like, OMG, Sarah. Y'all are going to be freaked out. My Twitter is PC, as in Paranormally Correct, PC_on_YouTube. That's in the description. My Facebook is facebook.com/paranormallycorrect. And then Instagram is just Paranormally Correct. So definitely check those out. I'll see you guys very soon. Have a great night and a great rest of your week. Bye, everybody.